Hello there guys, welcome to my first tutorial in ages. Today we're making Commander Wolffe. This was a request off of my Instagram. I just want to show you something quick. So this is Wolffe, and it is actually the same base for all of my clones. I just changed up colors and added details to them to make them different, and it's also the same as my Mandalorians. So this is the Mandalorian and Jango Fett. So it is all the same base, so if you are a little bit creative and you want to change up colors, add details, or whatever else, you are able to make a variety of characters using the same basic pattern. Alright, back to Wolffe. So sorry I have been neglecting my YouTube channel a little bit. It's been kind of tricky recently to find time where the house is quiet with everyone all at home. But I got the request and I thought that this would be a fun little tutorial. Alright, so we'll get started now. For your Commander Wolffe, you are going to need some white, black, and gray bands. That's about it. And your hook and your loom. I don't have band counts yet, but I'll probably count after the video and then put it in the description. Okay, so we'll get started. With the top of the helmet, we'll start laying bands. So we're laying double bands, starting with gray. So the first two gray are going down our top diagonal. So our top center pin to our top left hand pin, and our top right hand pin. Then we'll go from our top center down to our second center with another two gray. Alright, and then we will go down the sides first. So down the sides, we're switching to white. So from our first right side to our second right side, we'll have white. And then we'll do another white stitch coming straight down. Then we'll switch back to gray. And we'll do our third straight down the side to gray. So repeat this on the left hand side. So we've got our diagonal, then we'll place one stitch of white, our second stitch of white, and then our third, which is gray. Now from our bottom of the row that we've done, we'll finish it off coming up. So you put your gray around our last gray and then up into the center again. So that's the 1, 2, 3, the fourth center pin, and then down to the fourth side pin. Alright, so now we'll fill in our center. So from the top we have just our gray, and now we're going to lay one white and one gray. But when you lay them, make sure that your white is on top. I figured out a technique to do a centered stripe. Anyway, so the looming is a little bit interesting. We're going to loom them one at a time instead of together. So make sure that your white is on top. So in our center, we have a stitch of gray, and a stitch one white, one gray, and one white, one gray. And that's where this joins. So we'll move down to our neck, and our neck is two black. Our shoulders are gray, so coming down from the bottom of the neck, you will do one pair of gray and another pair of gray coming down to each of the sides. Alright, so now we will do the sides of the body. So coming down from this gray, we're going to do one stitch of black and then four white. So there's one black, 1, 2, 3, and 4 white. So we'll repeat this on the other side. So we've got our gray shoulder, and then we'll do one stitch of black, so 2 black, and then we'll do 4 white. So we'll come down 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. Okay, so our center is all white. So from the bottom of your neck where you've got this cross, we'll come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in white. So there's 1, 2, there's our first 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okie dokie. So now we've got our bottom of the body, and we'll finish this off by doing 2 diagonal stitches of white. So you got 2 white diagonal here and 2 white diagonal here. Cool. So we'll place the top of the legs, and then we are going to have to do a little bit of an extension. But that's fine. So for our legs, so coming down from where we finished, we'll place on the side pin, we'll do 1 stitch of black, and then 2 stitches of white. So 1, 2 white, then you'll come to the other side, place 2 black, well, 1 stitch, 2 bands, and then 2 stitches white. Okay, so now for our leg extensions, I've already got one of mine made, and then I'll show you quickly how to make them so that you can make your too. Okay, so for the bottom of the leg, what we'll do is we'll just make it on our hook, and you're going to take 1 gray band, wrap it around your hook once, twice, and then you'll have 4 loops. Then you'll grab a pair of gray, slide them around your hook and your finger, grab your cap band and slide this onto your cap band onto your gray, and then grab the other end. So you want to do 3 stitches of gray, so 2 more like what we just did. So put your pair of gray on your hook and around your finger and slide on, so that's our second one. And then our third one. Oops, I keep grabbing an extra one. There we go. Okay, so you've got your cap band and then 3 teardrops. And then for our last one, we'll do 1 white, 1 gray, pull this through, reclaim the end. So now, taking all 4 loops, place them around this bottom side pin. I think I only got 3. Looky there. And try that again. Grab all 4. There we go. And place them all around this bottom pin. I think I did it that time. There we go. Okay, so we'll make the arms while we're making body parts. So we'll do this on our hook as well. Same idea. So we're starting out with a black one. We'll wrap this around so that there's 4 loops. And then you're going to pull a pair of gray through. So on your finger, around your hook, slide your gray on. So there's 1 gray, and then we'll do 2 white. So there's our gray, white, and then this white one we're going to add this little elbow piece that I like to put on. So how we'll do this is you'll pull your second white through, but don't grab the end yet. Wrap a black band around 4 times, and now reclaim. So your white stitch and then your black cap band and your 2 white are on your hook. So grab the cap band and pull it over your hook so that it goes onto that white pair of bands. Okay, so now we'll do another normal gray stitch, pull through gray bands, and then for the shoulder I'm going to do a stitch of 3 bands just to kind of make it a little bulkier or whatever for his big shoulder armor pieces. So it's 2 gray and then 1 white that you'll pull through those 4 gray, or those gray bands that are on your hook already. Okay, so now you have 6 loops on your hook. And you're going to place these, it's kind of hard to see, our shoulder pin here. So you've got your gray diagonal one and your black, so where those two overlap. You'll place all 6 bands over that peg. Okay, and then as you can see on him, I added a little black stitch coming sideways. It's optional, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I kind of liked that it showed the gaps between his armor pieces a little bit. So I'll show you how to do that. One moment. Okay, so you'll need 2 black. So when your arm is on your loom already, so you can see your gray teardrop here. So put your hook straight through there and down to the back. And then grab your 2 black and, oops, sorry, shadow there, pull it through there. So I'm going to put, so I've kind of got one end on my hook and one end in my fingers still. So I'm going to put the one end on my hook around the same pin as the arms, and then I'll grab the 2 that are still in my fingers and also place them around the same pin. So it kind of looks twisted at the moment, but when we loom, we'll pull it down around this black stitch and it'll kind of work itself out a little bit. So I already have my second arm made. So if you haven't made your second arm already, or your second leg for that matter, go ahead and pause and do that. So my second arm, oh, and make sure when you place the arms that the elbow dot is down. Okay, so we'll place this arm on this pin as well. And then for our lovely little black extra piece, got our 2 black ready. And it's kind of weird doing this like opposite way, like one hand side is going to be easier for you depending if you're right or left-handed, and this side is kind of the more awkward one for me. Anyways, so I've got my loom actually horizontal, so I can see, it's really far away for you, I'm sorry, our gray teardrop, so we'll put our hook straight down through this gray teardrop without pulling any of the other bands off. And then we'll grab these 2 black and pull them on. So I've got one in my fingers, which is, or on my hook, which is kind of on the top, and I'm going to pull that one around here. Then I'll put my hook through the ones that are still in my fingers and put that also around this pin. So those pins have a lot of stuff happening on them. Cool. Okay, so we'll work on our crossover bands now, starting with the helmet. So we'll put one white crossover band here and here. These are just single. I think all of them on this figure are single, except for the visor. So on Rex, I tied the visor on afterwards, so you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see the difference. That's not the one we're making. But anyways, I figured out a way to do it while looming, so that's what we'll do for Wolfe today. And we're going to place a black one on like it was a crossover, and then we'll twist it around back over itself, so it's double looped crossover band. And then we'll just do white crossover bands down the body. So here, 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 and here. Okay, and then it doesn't show up super well on Wolfe, but above the belt they kind of have, shows up a lot better on Rex, like some detail that kind of is like under their ribs. So there's these diagonal stitches here. There's Wolfe's there. We'll place these so they come, so from the center bottom of the body, come up 2. So 1, 2, and then place two bands. You could do 1 or 2, doesn't really matter. Up to the side, and then where I'll do them on the opposite side, here. Okay, so these are those bands. Alright, I think that is everything that we are placing, so we'll get started looming. Okay, so we'll start out at the bottom of the legs, and this is just standard. Oh no, I missed another one. Alright, let's get this leg placed on correctly this time. Alright, do I have all 4 loops this time? Aye. Okay, so you kind of have to pull this one back and grab these bottom 2, loom them forward, and loom the black forward. Okay, so we'll come into the other side, pull this back, loom our white forward, the white forward, and the black forward. Alright, and then come inside the black, and you'll have these diagonal ones, loom them back to where they came from, and here also loom these back to where they came from. Alright, so we'll come up the sides first. So we'll only do the first 3 though, so stop looming the sides when you get to the top of this diagonal random band here. Alright, so go inside the black, loom the white forward, forward, and forward. So now we'll come into the center. So these ones have a lot of bands to push back, but find those bottom 2, loom them forward, loom it forward. Okay, so now you actually have 3 pairs of bands to loom here. So grab your top 2, and then you should be able to see where they come from, and put them back to that side. Same thing here, I can see they're coming from this side, so put them over there, and then you can loom your center. So we'll loom the rest of the center up to here, but stop when you get to the neck. Alright, so now we'll come up the sides, so come back to where we stopped looming, loom forward, and then loom this black band, and wait 1 second. So now you've got these black arm things that we added on. So go ahead and grab them with your hook actually, and pull them forward onto that stitch. So it might take a little bit of figuring to figure out which ones they are, but pull them around there. And if you didn't add them on, then you don't have to do that. You can just dig down through all your armbands to find these gray ones and put them into the center. Okay, so now don't miss a stitch. Find the last spot where you finish looming, come down here to finish the other side. Loom those 2 white and the 2 black. And now find your, there should be 4 bands that you're pulling over in all. So find those 2 black. Sorry, it's really hard to see. Let me try turning this on. Okay. So you can see these 2 black here. We are going to maybe grab them and pull them down. Pull these down. Okay. Wait a minute, something doesn't seem right. Oh, it's because I missed these ones. There they are. Okay, so there should be 4 bands that you pull over. So leave the gray and the white alone and just pull over the gray ones. And these black ones are the ones that are on the bottom, or the bottom part of the stitch. Okay, so now go through all this mess and find those bottom 2 gray ones. Oh, they've been pushed all the way around the bottom of the pin. Wonderful. Alright, found them. Loom them to the center. Alright, so that's our body is finished looming, so now we will loom the neck. So go through all this and loom your neck forward carefully. Okay, so don't loom everything right away. So just go through your neck and pull up that one white single band. So there's a gray one that's paired with, but don't loom that one yet. So go through that white one, and again, only loom the single white. Alright, so now go back in through your neck and loom your single gray and the single gray. And then you can also do this last pair of gray here. Alright, so there is still one more step that isn't standard. So loom these gray to the side, these gray up, and then only loom a single band of this stitch. Now come back to the center, loom out your gray to the side, loom your gray forward, come in through here, and only loom one single white here. And I lied, you can't actually loom this one forward yet. Okay, so now what we'll do is we're grabbing these black visor bands and pulling them forward. So they'll come around, it'll come around these 4 bands. So I'll show you that again. So what you do is, if it helps to turn your loom to the side, find that black band, grab it, and then pull it down. So around from all 3 of those stitches. So now go in and loom your other single white. There. Alright, so now you can loom the rest of the helmet just like normal. Okay, so these go forward, these go forward, and these go forward. Alright, awesome. Double check to make sure you didn't miss any stitches, especially a figure like this where you kind of have to stop, do stuff, and then keep going. It's sometimes easy to miss them. So just make sure you didn't miss anything. Put your hook through, tie him off. Cool. Now we'll pull him off the loom. Okay, sorry I skipped ahead there a little bit. Alright, so here's my Wolfe fresh off the loom. Make sure this is nice and snug. It's interesting, like, even if things are the exact same pattern, how they're different. And it could be that this one's fresh off, so it is a little stretched out. I don't know, I just think it's interesting. Okay, so there's your Wolfe fresh off the loom. The other detail that I added was I put 2 single white bands around his waist for his belt. And I had that sit just underneath where these diagonal ones were. Okie dokie. I'll hide that later. I'm sure you guys are capable. The other detail that I added was this little antenna thing that him and Rex have. So, how I did that, you guys are probably sick of me putting knots in videos. Okay. But what we do is I've tied a little knot in the end of a band, and then tied that band to Wolfe's head. So take the band that you're going to tie a knot in, and have it, like, I don't know, put your hook on top of it. Have it in each fingers. Hold it in your 2 fingers of each of your hand. Wow, I can't speak. Anyways, I'm sure you can see by now. Sorry, my siblings are really loud too. Alright, and then take from your left hand and bring it around the side of the hook and back to the left side. So it's kind of twisted around. And then you'll see you have, up here it's higher and down here it's lower. So bring the lower one and place it over the top of the hook. So now you have 3 bands on your hook, carefully pull the top one through the lower one. So if you need to, pull it through the lower two. So I'm just going to carefully pull mine through one at a time if you need to lift them over or whatever. So I'm pushing that knot snug up, wow, against my hook and tying it nice and tight. Okay, so I've just slip knotted it to their heads, and I gotta figure out which band exactly I tied it to. Okay, I know how I did it. So on the side of the head, you can see you've got your two white, anyway, so you've got your two white stitches, and your cap crossover band kind of sticks out here. So behind your crossover band, if you split this, there's two white coming horizontal. So grab one of those white ones coming horizontally, grab one end of your antenna band. So this is the end without the knot in it, and I'm going to pull that bit with a knot in it through here. So I'm just slip knotting it and tying it. So it might take a little bit of figuring to get it to come straight up, but there's your antenna. Alright, a little bit of a longer tutorial, but here is your Commander Wolffe. Have fun making Wolfe and any other clones or Mandalorians that you might try, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.